Okay, so on this video we're going to look at the next part. So we've just looked at the DH treble SM, and the instructor might slightly change that around, but it's neither here or there really. We're going to look at the pedals, the 3 pedals that we're going to be working with down in the wow there as we call it, but down in the hole under the steering wheel. So we normally look at these first without the engine going so we don't frighten ourselves or anyone else. So the first one on the right hand side is the gas pedal. We call it gas because accelerator is quite a long word to use. It's also the accelerators, but saying, oh, come off the accelerator a little bit, might be a bit late by then, so come off the gas a bit, etc, etc. We try not to use phrases like a bit, by the way, but I'll come on to those in a moment. So we've got the gas. It's really important with the gas that we press it very gently. We don't press it all the way down, and maybe it's very small amounts. So normally about, I knew there was one there somewhere, about the thickness of a pound coin, so this bit here, so the thinly beat if you like. We make movements around about that on that pedal in very small amounts. In a moment when I've finished this talk, I'll get the engine started and just show you what happens if you press it too much, okay? You don't want to do that. For pulling away and stopping, which is going to be the next thing you're going to do with your instructor, then you're just going to press it literally about that much. So the needle on the rev counter goes from 1, on this one there's a 1, and it goes to the next line up, okay? And it's just got a very slight hum. It's important you set the gas so you have a little bit of power there, but not too much. If you have too much, in theory, you could go too fast. It doesn't work like that particularly, but you just don't want to make loads of noise, do you really? Because it's just a little bit worrying. But that's all it is noise, but just a nice gentle hum, like a cat on your lap purring. I know, but I'll do my best. Okay, so we use our right foot for that because it's on the right-hand side of the car, if you like. So it's an easy way to remember that. The one next to it is the brake. Like on your bike, the more you brake, the quicker you stop. So if on your brake you whack the old brakes on quickly, you're going to stop suddenly, and you don't really want to do that in your first lesson. So what we tend to do, and this will be covering your moving away and stop a bit more detail, but what we tend to do is come off the gas, and that actually slows the car down. It's called engine braking. So press a bit and the car will go faster once you're moving. Come off, the car will slow down once you're moving. Okay, so that's like pedaling your bike. If you pedal your bike, the faster you pedal, the faster you go. Stop pedaling, it still goes, doesn't it? But it slows down. Even go downhill, it will slow down to a certain extent. It will in the car because you've got the engine helping you slow down as well. Okay, talking about cyclists just went past. So now we come on to the brake. Sorry, we'll get there in a minute. So the brake slows the car down as well as the engine braking. Because you're going to be doing very slow speeds at the beginning, you may not need to use the brake very much. So we use something called progressive braking anyway, which is braking very small amounts. So we can get our pound coin again, and we can do the thickness of the pound coin, and we can just brake that, brake it again, brake it again, brake it again, and that way it's nice and gentle. Then just before you stop, you're just going to come off the thickness of a coin, and that makes it nice and smooth, so you don't get like that when your dad's driving, you know, the sort of thing. You just ease back and the car just comes to a nice gentle stop. So they're the things your instructor's going to be practicing with you, so you get nice and smooth with your, we call it coordination, but nice and smooth with your feet, because that's really important. So the middle pedal, we use our middle foot. Oh no, we don't, silly me. No we don't, we haven't got free feet. We use our right foot because you're not going to want to accelerate and slow down at the same time. So that foot can accelerate you and slow you down. So we use the right foot for the brake as well as the gas. It's important to know that brake pedals are higher than gas pedals. So again, I'll do little videos in a moment. You need to lift your foot up and across and down. You can't just take your foot across because that, ow, it hurts. Okay, so up, across, down, nice and smooth with the braking, but you probably hardly need to brake at all. But your instructor will help you that, and you can see that on the moving away and stopping videos. Okay, so we've got a foot left, haven't we? And that's our left foot, so that's quite handy to remember. So I know some of you guys have a problem with left and right. I certainly do. But the one that's left is your left foot, and that goes down on the left pedal, and that's the clutch. Okay, how the clutch works, without getting too complicated with it, think of your chain on your bicycle. Okay, so when you put the clutch down, that disengages the engine, so in other words the engine's not connected to anything. So it's like having your chains falling off your bicycle. So if you've got the clutch down, and the engine's going, of course, the clutch is down, you press the gas, the car's not going anywhere because there's nothing to connect the power, which is your pedals on your bike and the back wheel, on this case your engine and your wheels. So the clutch disconnects that connection. So basically one pedal and one disc, it's 2 discs, one disc in the engine will be going around like this, and the more you press the gas, the faster it's going. Can't do that very well. And this one's not doing anything because the clutch is down and it's separated them and there's no connection. When you bring the clutch about halfway up, your instructor will help you with this. This is called biting point, and that's when the pedals are just touching. So what happens is this one's going round, and you can see the other one is automatically just moving slightly because it's being pushed slightly by the other one. That's called biting point. Okay, and the car's ready sort of to go. You'd have to be in gear, which we'll talk about in a moment. It doesn't, if you're not in gear, it's disconnected all the time. But if you're in gear, we'll say you're in gear for the sake of argument. That's going round, that's pulling, and then once your clutch starts to come up further, they lock, and then the plates go round, and the more power you put in, the faster the wheels go round, and that's how the clutch works in basic terms. Your instructor will go into more detail if you need it, but I would keep it basic. So your clutch connects your engine to your wheels basically, and if it's down, it's open, there's no connection, that allows you to change gear. You do that just before you stop, otherwise the car's trying to go and stop. And once it's halfway up, it wants to go, so that's when you would pull away gently. And when it's all the way up, there's a connection, so the more you press the gas, the faster the car will go. And that's basically how it works. Think of it like you're chaining your bike. If your chain's not there, you can pedal as much as you like, it's not going anywhere. Once it's there, the more you pedal, the faster you go. So we'll keep that simple, and that's the left foot. The left foot is the only one that goes straight down, and you can go down as quickly as you like. There's no rules on that. It must come up quite slowly. So probably the width of a finger, which is about a centimetre a second. So you're coming up, your clutch is going to come up something like this. 1, 2, 3. That's biting point. So at that point you'd do your handbrake, look around and all that business that you'll learn in another video. Then it's 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up. Car's now in control with the gas. Okay, so that's the secret. It's nice and gentle with those pedals. So a little bit of gas, or about thickness of a coin, breaking the thickness of a coin at a time to the car just as it's going to stop, ease off, and the clutch pedal up a centimetre a second, nice and gradually like that, and you'll make it all nice and smooth. Because lots of people are worried about stalling on their first lesson. If you stick to those rules with those pedals, then you won't have too many problems with that. Okay.